What the heck just happened? Well, we'll explain that to you in this video about Bitgrail, the Raiblocks / Nano hack that just happened, supposed hack, we should say. Bitgrail team reaching out to Nano XRB team asking to turn back the blockchain so that they can recover their losses. But then, once you look into this story, it starts to get a little fishy. So we'll be back in about 2 seconds with that. So stay tuned. It's very, very interesting. Okay, so what just happened? Well, this is one of the biggest stories of today, the Raiblocks hack. So we're going to go through that a little bit and some of the key facts and bits of evidence that give you a little bit of an explanation of what's going on. Now, let's get right into it, actually. So, Bitgrail. I don't know if you guys know about Bitgrail. I haven't heard about it too much, but some people were using this. So, after I've done my research, I found that quite a few people were using this exchange. It was the #1 exchange, actually, at one point, the first exchange to accept Raiblocks, to start trading Raiblocks. So, naturally, they had a very high volume of Raiblocks to Bitcoin trades. Now, in recent days, it's been like in the top 5. So, in the past couple of weeks, there's been other exchanges trading Raiblocks. So let's look into some articles about this and see what we can find. But first of all, the first thing I noticed is that Bitgrail, XRB, Raiblocks, and Nano cryptocurrency are all in the top 5 cryptocurrency related search terms on Google Trends. #1 is Bitgrail. So related queries, Bitgrail, Bitcoin, even more than Bitcoin ATMs near me. Okay, so this video is a good place to start. If you want more information, this person on Steemit, my Cryptoverse, did a pretty good video explaining what he found out and things like that. So we'll share that link down below if you want to look a little bit further. But the main article where you can get most of the information would be CCN. So if you search for that, or we'll throw it down below. And if you don't find it down below, you can always find it on our Twitter, because we retweet these important stories right away. So Raiblocks was recently rebranded into Nano. So let's first look into that a little bit. I won't spend too much time on it. Raiblocks rebrands to Nano, and the coin saw a 30% increase. So Raiblocks was doing pretty well. So if you are holding a lot of Raiblocks, like one of these exchanges, it might be, that might be why we're seeing it be targeted as a cryptocurrency to either have been stolen, or, as we'll read on, you'll see that the exchange owner might have actually taken the Raiblocks himself. So maybe he got them in the early stages, bought a lot of them, and this is just speculation, and now that the price is going up so much, decided to create an illusion of a hack, right? So that he can profit from this, benefit from this. And especially, I think a key feature in this is all of the regulation that's been going on. exchanges have been getting letters from regulators, from the Securities Exchange Commission saying, warning about trading securities and telling them to basically stop what they're doing. So maybe this has contributed to maybe the fear of this exchange or these cryptocurrencies not lasting very long, or exchanges in general like this not doing too well in the coming weeks, coming months. So there could be some fear there, and also makes it easy to excuse it gives an exchange owner an excuse of why they're doing so poorly. So this is the official announcement of the Nano rebrand. For at least a month, there's speculation, and the community wanted a rebrand, saying, Rai is confusing. They wanted to ditch the blocks, just call it Rai. And there were some things popping up, giving hints that it may rebrand to Nano before it actually did, including some screenshots that were circulating the internet of basically this new Nano being Nano brand, and Raiblocks kind of said, well, there's tons of, they basically dismissed it, not wanting people to know, saying there's tons of people that want rebranding and that give us different suggestions, and whoever created this one went through a lot of effort to do it. Well, we noticed in the recent days it actually was rebranded into Nano. But one thing that's interesting is on this website they have a partnership listed with Daddy. A lot of people are interested in Daddy, or think it's one of the top currencies to watch in 2018, but they've had some issues. I think it was with their white paper being identical or very similar to another white paper out there. So now that we got that out of the way, let's look into this Raiblocks situation a little bit. First, you can see that Raiblocks freezes accounts, right? So if you had an account on Bitgrail, you couldn't exchange, you couldn't withdraw any money. So first red flag, and this is scary, and it recently just happened. Almost people were speculating that and spreading FUD that Binance might have been hacked, or had some regulatory issues or something like that, because they had scheduled maintenance and it lasted a lot longer. Well, when so many people are using something like that and already are nervous, a couple hours of not knowing what's going on, a lot of speculation and FUD can be spread. And we saw John McAfee actually spread most of this FUD, and Binance actually came back at John McAfee saying, you're spreading FUD. There's no reason to be spreading this FUD. We can prove that, if you look at the blockchain, you can see that no money's been withdrawn, all the money's safe. So you've got to be careful. But it goes to prove one key thing, that people are nervous keeping their money on exchanges, and your money is not safe on exchanges, and people know that. So one of the biggest lessons that we can learn from this Raiblocks Bitgrail hack, freeze, conspiracy, really, is to try to move your money off of exchanges, because at the end of the day, exchanges control your money. You don't really own it. They give you an IOU. It's kind of like a future. If the price goes up, you profit. The price goes down, you lose. But you really don't own any of these cryptocurrencies yourself. So try to work on that. I was going crazy looking everywhere for my Ledger wallet last night, and it gave me so much stress, and really I don't need to stress. If I lose my Ledger Nano wallet, I can still recover my funds. So I don't need to stress if I do lose my Nano wallet. And I have a video on my channel, top 10 security tips, that I suggest anybody to read that wants to take these steps to make their money more secure. watch that video. I'll suggest it in the end of this video. But the price dropped, right? And it's interesting because if you look into why Nano rebranded, they say a lot of reasons, like, you know, the name. They wanted something that represents what they are a little bit more. But this hack happened, or this issue happened around the same time that they rebranded, so it could have something to do with this as well, and the negative attention brought to Raiblocks through this issue, right? 10% of all Raiblocks in circulation, and all the Raiblock circulating supply is in circulation right now, so the max supply is in circulation. 10% of that is what is missing from Bitgrails exchange. So them being one of the highest volume exchanges, right? Raiblocks' biggest enthusiasts may have accidentally fudded themselves out of $800 million US in market cap. Right, because like I said, when people don't understand what's going on and it's unknown, a lot of FUD and speculation gets spread. So let's look into this article a little bit, because this has all the key points. One thing though that you can find, the official statement from Nano, from Raiblocks, about this, one of the key paragraphs was this: in private correspondence, Verano, so the exchange owner, allegedly inquired as to the possibility of modifying the ledger in order to cover his losses. But the development team responded that this line of action is not possible, nor is a direction we would ever pursue. So similar to the recent NEM hack, and guys, if nothing else, these are warning signs telling you what's about to come, warning you that if you really want to succeed and you really don't want to lose money, it's not about, okay, the value of cryptocurrencies is half of what it used to be. That's not such a big problem as these exchanges getting hacked, these exchanges getting targeted by the government. Now, South Korean government can just take down any exchange they want if they suspect money laundering going on, or criminals holding money on that exchange. Well, every single exchange people are money laundering on. Every single exchange has money that came from the dark web at some point. So this is what authorities do and laws do. They give the ability for law enforcement and authorities to do whatever they want in the case that they needed to confiscate funds from an exchange, or wanted to even, they can find a reason to now, right? So guys, this is not, you can lose more money than anything by holding your money on these exchanges, because if the value of cryptocurrency goes down, it will always go back up, and that's what we've seen history prove, right? So but once an exchange gets hacked, once an exchange has no liquidity left, as we saw in Mt. Gox, how many years later is it? 5 years later, and people still have not gotten their money back, despite promises to give their money back. Recently, BTCE had all their servers and all their funds seized by law enforcement. They're still promising to give the funds back somehow, but really this is just so more FUD doesn't get spread, in my opinion, and so that these exchanges can hold good public perception just in case they needed it in the future. Say they wanted to restart their company, or some of those team members wanted to continue working in the industry. There's not as much FUD spread because people are promised to get their money back. Similar to what happened to BitConnect, right? They did it in a way that they could deny exit scamming, deny ripping everybody off. Now they have another new ICO where people invested a lot of money into, so it works. right? It works to do this in a way where there's doubt, right? There's doubt that you know for sure that you got ripped off. So the ledger they wanted to turn back, right, to cover the loss. It is not possible, they're saying. The blog post makes subtle accusations regarding the legitimacy of the hack, stating that we now have sufficient reason to believe that Verano has been misleading the Nano Core team and the community regarding the solvency of Bitgrail exchange for a significant period of time. And guys, when it's just like a bank, when you give someone all your money, what do you think you would do with that money? If you were given billions of dollars to hang on to, do you think you would spend some of that? Of course you would. Of course you would make trades and try to make yourself some money by the money that you're getting given to hang on to. And sometimes you end up losing that money. Or sometimes you make the wrong trades. And this is what always happens. Even some people's accountants lose all their money by betting it on bad stocks. Because when you're given the opportunity, humans always, we'll go to sleep at night and we'll think of the possibilities, right, that we could do with that money. And so when you're given the power, when you're given the keys to people's wallets, what do you think is going to happen? So this is a pattern we see over and over and over again within exchanges. If you haven't learned yet, there's no helping you. If you haven't taken the simple actions of moving your money to something like Exodus, to a decentralized exchange, and trust me, in 2018, there's tons of decentralized exchanges that you can use. Bitbridge? No, CoinBridge, something like that. There's tons of them coming out. There's a new one. There's new ICOs coming out for them. Just look into decentralized exchange or exchange wallets that you download onto your computer is a good start. A next step would be a paper wallet, a ledger wallet, or something like that. And it doesn't take a lot, especially if you're holding long term. There's no reason to hold your money on exchanges if you're holding long term, because the longer you keep it there, the more chances something bad is going to happen. Binance is a very good and transparent exchange. They have been trying to make it more global and not located in one area, so law enforcement can't take it down. One country can't take it down alone. It would have to be a joint national effort, and we've seen with Bitcoin that that's almost impossible, to have a global effort in all countries to participate in taking something down, especially if it runs on nodes like Bitcoin. And a lot of these decentralized exchanges do, in a way, run like Bitcoin. BitShares, I think, was one of them, but didn't really take off so well. Okay, so they were lying about their solvency. Surprise! The team adds that criminal investigations are underway. Our team promptly contacted law enforcement, and we are fully cooperating with law enforcement on this matter. We are preparing all information we have on the matter, such as blockchain entries, screenshots, and chat logs following the loss of XRB. Bitgrail has claimed insolvency, and so this is a blog post by Raiblocks, and you can find it if you search. Although since I found this, I didn't really need to search too much for that because I have the most important part of the blog post here. Although you should check your sources, and I did see that the same information is on this CNN post, so I'm happy with that. So the last little part is, the source in question claims to have discovered that the account from which users' funds had supposedly been lost had multiple transactions of large numbers. So let's look into the CCN article real quick, and then we'll be done. And this will just finalize the whole story and the information that is out right now. So Bitgrail was the fifth, like I said, the fifth most popular exchange for XRB trading at the time, according to CoinMarketCap. But at one point, it was the first exchange to trade XRB. However, the volume has now been amended to 0. I don't know if that's not insolvent. I don't know what is. With a market valuation today of $10 per XRB, to all the loss is estimated to be $170 million. And now it's even more because the price of Raiblocks is up around $20, $25. Guys, I bought Raiblocks. I've been buying it. If it goes near 25 to lower, that's an amazing entry, but especially $10, an amazing entry price for Raiblocks. I think it'll do some amazing things. My first hint on that was when I shared an article with you guys about it, that a Medium post by a PayPal employee that said he's been looking into cryptocurrencies for a while, but he hasn't got excited about any projects until he saw Raiblocks. Then he started building an interface for Raiblocks, basically a PayPal interface where you could transact and buy and pay for things with Raiblocks. So that was a pet project he did on the side while working at PayPal. So with all the thousands of cryptocurrencies out there, and this one stood out to him, that means something in itself. So Raiblocks works on DAG. So just like IOTA, let's look into this article and explain that a bit, I'm pretty sure. So the Nano core team were informed about by the owner of Bitgrail, Francesco the Bomber Pirano. And guys, if someone wanted today to steal a lot of money but not go to jail for it, or do it in a way that it's legal, so if you wanted to take billions of dollars from people, the best way to do it is open up an exchange. So obviously some bad actors are going to be opening up exchanges, and what I've seen in my life is when people will take big amounts of money like this, a lot of times they have an addiction to gambling, they have an addiction to hookers, they have an addiction to drugs, and they're doing this to sustain their addiction, and really they don't have a choice, right? A lot of people are happy with the lifestyle they're living. They don't need too much, right? They're okay to live a simple life. But if you have these types of addictions that demand huge amounts of money, you're kind of driven to do things like this. So the Bomber, I wonder where he got that name, but it seems like he has an interesting reputation that you could probably look into. So the loss on Thursday was reported in a blog update. They report that the fault appears to be related to Bitgrail software. In private correspondence, Franco allegedly inquired to the possibility of modifying the ledger in order to cover his losses. See, they don't say recover, they say cover his losses, right? So Raiblocks knows what's good. They know what's happening here. They're not stupid, right? But the development team responded that this is a line of action that's not possible, nor is the direction we would ever pursue. Quote from Raiblocks themselves, or Nano, right? The blog post then makes subtle accusations regarding the legitimacy of the hack, stating that we now have sufficient reason to believe that Franco was misleading the Nano core team. We already said this, right, about the solvency of Bitgrail for a long period of time, a significant period of time. The team adds that the criminal investigations are underway, and we went over that too as well. But to go on a little bit further, we are preparing all information we have on the matter, such as blockchain entries, screenshots, and chat logs. Following the loss of Raiblocks or XRB, Bitgrail claimed insolvency, kind of like Mt. Gox, right? And Ubit claimed bankruptcy because they got hacked twice, accusing the North Koreans. But like I said many times, the North Koreans are the easiest people to blame because we don't know what's going on there. We don't really communicate with them. They're cut off from the rest of the world. So, following the loss of XRB, Bitgrail claimed insolvency, right? The source in question claims to have discovered that the account from which user funds, this is the key part here, which user funds has supposedly been lost, lost funds. Bitgrail Representative 1 had multiple transactions of large, even numbers, e.g. 3,000, 5,000, 8,000 XRB to the Mercatox exchange. So this is very suspicious, right? They run an exchange and they're moving money from their exchange to another exchange themselves. I wouldn't be using Bitgrail. These are some red flags that would tell me to stop using this exchange. Just like I'm moving my money out of Poloniex. I already moved my father's money out of Poloniex, and I'm moving my money out of Bitfinex because of different activity, different red flags that I've noticed. So keep an eye open for these red flags, guys. If you're holding money on exchange, it is your duty to do research on that exchange and make sure that there's no inconsistencies or suspicious activity going on. And you can do that. They're public ledgers, guys. You can find what's going on for the most part. The even numbers are significant because if they were trades or money that they made or something like that, they wouldn't be even numbers, right? It certainly doesn't look organic. Another user took to Reddit conducting an AMA post, Ask Me Anything, titled, I lost $147K, $147 in Nano, no, sorry, 147,000 Nano, right? $1.4 million worth of Nano, and falling in the Bitgrail hack. The user responded with surprising positivity to the terrible news. I've decided that the only way to deal with this is to move as quickly as possible and keep making solid decisions. So, negative emotions in times like these serve no one. This is what happened, guys. I lost $3,000 in BitPetite. I lost not even $1,000 in BitConnect. Probably more like $500 because I was suspicious from the start with BitConnect and didn't really want to give them too much money. But I never responded. I had in the first one, obviously your first time going through this, you're going to get nervous and stress out. So for like 2-3 days, it was like shock to me. But you have to recover. You have to decide what your next move is. You have to decide how you're going to make up for that, those losses. And there's multiple ways to make up for these losses, and look at it in a positive way. So he's basically saying he's not stopping trading cryptocurrency. The approach sets out a responsible and healthy attitude to the financial loss, and it sadly is frequently experienced in the cryptocurrency world. It comes as a reminder to keep financial matters in perspective, contrasting with the sad news that young Korean Bitcoin investors committed suicide due to the recent crypto crash. And we saw also we also saw a couple Chinese men committing suicide due to BitConnect closing down their lending platform and exchanges, and them losing a lot of value in their BitConnect. I was going to share a video on one of these, the video of a man basically jumping off a bridge in response to BitConnect, but I decided not to. You can find that yourself. So, guys, this is insane. This happens a lot, especially in Asian countries, where people bet a lot of money that they don't have, and things like that, because it's really the only way that they can get ahead. And if you're doing this, if you're gambling on cryptocurrency, you're really not going to do too well because of the volatility. If they would have just stuck it through, but with all suicides, if you would just stick it through, you would see on the other side it's not so bad. they probably would have recovered their value, but they probably took out a lot of debt to invest, and that's another lesson that people have to learn, is to not go into debt to buy cryptocurrencies. I have cash sitting here and I still haven't put it in cryptocurrencies. So you should, for one, not put all your eggs into cryptocurrency. So if you're not going to do that, you should especially not go into debt. So this is basically a reminder. Nano was previously known as Raiblocks. It used DAG, directed acrylic graph protocol, similar to IOTA, with zero fees and scalability advantages. There is a maximum supply of 133 million coins, which are all in circulation, and so the breach represents a loss of 10% of the total supply. Users of the exchange have been reporting issues prior to the event, right? More red flags that could have given them a reason to withdraw. And I did read on this Steemit post in the comments, we can see here that someone was lucky. Said, "My goodness, I seriously have a knack of dodging bullets. When this all went down last week, I sold into Bitcoin, shipped to KuCoin, and converted it back into XRB. I lost 10% of my holdings and was a little disappointed. Looking back now, though, wow, another bullet dodged. I feel for all those caught up in this." So guys, look at our video on 10 security tips. I'm sorry this video went a little bit long. Thank you, Nathan, for mentioning that these videos are a bit long and to shorten them, and I'm going to try my best. So let's end this video now, and have a great day, guys. Peace.
Bitcoin and things like it is the equivalent of the red pill.
This is a technology, it's a computing language, and I can build an app on it.
Is Bitcoin the currency of the future?
Crypto gang, it's the game, big gang, alt gang, light gang, cash game, blockchain, whoa. I don't really ever buy stocks, man. No. Haters wanna say I'm in a bubble, man. No. Chew them up like bubble gum. No. Just made a meal with my pocket change. No. Wreck about to go and join the HODL gang. HODL gang, HODL gang, HODL gang. Crypto gang, it's the game, big gang, alt gang, light gang, cash game, blockchain, whoa. I don't really ever buy stocks, man. No. Haters wanna say I'm in a bubble, man. No. Just made a meal with my pocket change. Wreck about to go and join the HODL gang. HODL gang, HODL gang, HODL gang. Ethereum pays for my rent. Bitcoin pays for the bench. Litecoin pays for the jet. Bitcoin cash for the rest. Spent 30 racks on an ICO. What coin did you buy? I forgot, yo. Just got started last night, bro. And I'm already hooked like a pipe, though. Flipping the coin, making it grow, taking it slow, letting it go. Cash flow's growing, it's incredible to watch it flow. Stacking the cash, taking it home, making it fast. I'm on a roll, little bit mo's all I ask for the bubble, though. Currently, learning about a new type of currency. Burning the dollar down like an emergency. Urgently, listen, my friends have been urging me. Coins have been surging, we